There are always at least 3 solutions to every single problem. This single phrase helps me get through not only the big picture problems as a performing and visual artist, but the everyday little things from what should I eat for lunch to should I go on this trip or should I save money? And I guarantee it will help you too. As artists, life can feel black and white, like a this or that game. Like I'm either full-time or I'm not. I'm either moving forwards or moving backwards. We're at the mercy of people who are casting us, picking us, choosing us, loving us. And while there is a higher power that is there with divine timing, we have freedom over what we get to do in life. And in fact, it's why we became artists in the first place. This phrase is going to be your secret weapon as an artist. By the way, hey, it's Kira. Welcome back to Violet Gaze. This is a cozy space for visual and performing artists to get the tips and strategies you are hungry for, so you can work on those dream shows, those dream projects that your 7-year-old self would be so proud of you for. Subscribe for more of that vibe. I was thinking back to a few moments in my life where I felt like I had no control. As kids, a lot of us feel like we don't have control, not only because we physically can't drive and can't really make decisions with our brain fully developed, but because we had adult figures in our lives telling us what to feel, how to do things, and what was right and wrong. I remember 2 specific instances in my life where adults told me what I needed and I felt immensely trapped. I think there were a lot of moments in my childhood where I felt trapped, and probably you did too. I think that's a big reason why we are artists, because now we find this freedom and we get to choose what we want to do. Even if we don't know the how, we know that it can happen, just to make our younger self proud, because they didn't get that freedom that we can have now. The first time was after 11 years of doing gymnastics, after years of competing, I finally wanted to do theater full time. I told an adult figure in my life that I was quitting, and they said, "No, you're not." There are multiple times in my life where this and many other adult figures have told me what I was doing and what I wasn't doing without really hearing me out or hearing how I felt. And I remember that specific instance really made me feel trapped, because I knew that I wanted to follow my dreams and do what I loved. And having that feeling of no, you're not, even telling them several times, like it took me years to finally quit, because I didn't have any adults really genuinely asking me, like, let's talk about this, let's sit down. The same thing happened my first year of college. I went to a college in Manhattan for theater, and it was a great college, but it was not for me. I did not want to live in Manhattan, and hence me being a singer-songwriter and actor living in Greenville, South Carolina. I do not like the city. Adult figure in my life said you need to stick it through for the whole year before you transfer. I wanted to go to community college, and they said, no, you're staying. And maybe that's what they thought was best for me, but it was just another moment where I felt really trapped. Thinking back to that now, years later, it's when I realized that having this phrase in my life, there's at least 3 different solutions to every single problem, has helped me not only remember that I am an adult and I have free will, but also remembering that there are many layers and many paths to following my dreams, and yours as well. We use terminology like backup plan, and it has a very visual feeling, because it makes us think that if we have a backup plan, we're going backwards and we're not moving forward in our lives, when really a backup plan, or having other aspirations or other things that we're good at that we want to help support our art, actually can propel us forward. That's how I'm able to create content right now, because I know marketing and branding and content creation, we can connect on this level, because I don't see things as like forward or backwards. I see it as multiple paths. That's also why I love this phrase, because it's like there's multiple solutions. I listen to a lot of podcasts. I have read biographies. I love seeing how people I admire have gotten to where they are today, and I bet you do too. But what we don't see from those is the decisions that were made along the way, everyday decisions that were made. It sometimes sounds like, well, this was the path that was carved for me, and so I followed it, when in reality, they were always carving it themselves. They had multiple paths in front of them. It wasn't a forward or backwards motion. Every chapter, every episode of a documentary is showing the forward movement. So even if you feel like you have other parts of your life that you feel like, oh, I need to make this decision, I need to take a little bit of time away from my art so I can make some more money, you might think that that's going back, but it's just one path. And a path is always going to be taking you forwards. You're never walking backwards from that. That's giving you more financial abundance so that maybe you can invest it in your art. But the path is always going forward. Let's talk about some examples of problems. There's a reason why I say there's 3 different solutions to every problem. And by the way, there can be many, many more. There can be 5, there can be 10. But the reason why I don't say there's unlimited solutions to a problem is that as creatives, having unlimited solutions can pretty much leave us in the same state of analysis paralysis as knowing that there's no solutions. People think that giving an artist a blank canvas gives them endless possibilities, but what it really does is give us complete overwhelm, even as performers. When it say, oh, come sing anything. It's like, no, please give me a genre. Please give me a style. I need some boundaries. I need some restrictions. That's why I say there's always 3 different solutions to a problem, because even though there are more, it'll remind you that there are focused ways that are more of a vibe than others, that are more effortless than others, that feel downhill rather than uphill. In my day-to-day and in my big picture as an artist, I don't think I have ever told myself, okay, there's 3 different solutions to this problem. One of them is that I'm going to learn coding, specifically because for me, I never went to school for coding. I absolutely hate math with a fiery passion. I still count on my fingers. Hence me doing this right now. For me, that is not a path, that is a vibe. When I know that there are 3 solutions, I can carve out in my head solutions that would fit my specific use case, that are more on brand for who I am as a person, and it ends up making it a lot easier. Now, small picture, day to day, you can use this tool when you're feeling overwhelmed about anything. I use this when I don't know what I'm going to eat for lunch. I say, okay, well, there are always 3 solutions to every single problem. I have a frozen thing in the fridge. That'll work well because I can just ditch it for 15 minutes on the pan and then it'll be ready. I have some leftovers and that'll be because all I have to do is pour it. That's cool. And I know I need to finish the leftovers. I can make myself some eggs, but that's going to require more effort. And I don't really want to do that right now. I am not going to say I'm going to make a hamburger because I'm a vegetarian. So that's not a vibe. There are on-brand decisions that you can make for your everyday actions. Another example, my friend wants to go get dinner, but I'm trying to be more conservative with money and I don't really want to spend money on food. Okay, there's 3 different solutions to every problem. You could ask your friend to come over and you can make her a cute little dinner. Ask her to hang out with you at the park for a few hours, or you could find a free activity to do and invite her to do that instead. Maybe some of those are more on brand for you or on vibe for you versus others. For me, I would never invite somebody over and put them through having to eat food that I've made. I could literally burn cereal, but for you, that might work really well. This can also help you when you have that analysis paralysis, when you're listening to a podcast and you say, oh my gosh, this is how this person had their career. Okay, I will do that. If those pathways are not on brand for you, then that's okay. You have 3 different solutions for yourself. You can use this on the day-to-day for little things like that, but more holistic, more big picture, more like keeping you up at night sort of vibe. By the way, if this is helpful, if this is inspiring you, fluttered something in your heart, or made you think a little differently about being an artist, I would love for you to subscribe. I release videos like this as much as I can. I try to do it once a week, and I would love to be besties. Overarching problem, big picture problem, right? As an artist, what is my niche? What is my genre? What is my vibe? There is only a specific sum of things that could come together for you that make up who you are. Feeling like you need to go out and find what your niche or genre or style is going to make you try to attach yourself to other things and people that you aren't. It's very similar to this concept of thinking there's multiple solutions, but instead of this, there's almost multiple ingredients to what this is. On brand or on vibe ingredients to who you are and what your niche is. It's this whole concept, like everything that's on brand to you is going to be the right thing for you to do. It's exactly like knowing that there's multiple solutions to a problem. There's multiple solutions to who you are as a niche, as a genre, as a brand, because there are only a select few things that make up who you are. You're an artist, but you went to school for engineering. That is a part of you. That is a part of your niche, your genre, your vibe. You have 10 siblings. That is a part of you. You grew up in a rural town in Kentucky. that's a part of you. You were in the military. You're a multi-hyphenate. You love fashion and performing. Feeling like you have this analysis paralysis, just like you would if you have a problem and you feel like, oh, there's a million solutions, so I'm just not going to make the decision. It's the same reason why artists can't seem to find their niche, is because they think that there's unlimited possibilities. There aren't. There's only a select number of experiences and personality quirks and things about you that make up who you are. That's a relief for you. Now you get to have the freedom and piece these puzzle pieces together and then just show off. If you are a visual artist and you've been wanting to start an Etsy shop or even just start a social media channel so you can get more comfortable showing off your work, you might think, well, I don't know what to post. I could post anything. This person's posting this and this person's posting that. And then I took a course and they said I should be doing this. But then this YouTuber said that. There is only a select number of things that you can do because you're you. Already the art that you're making is going to be unique. So any art that you post is going to be wildly different than what someone else is going to post. The next post you make is also going to be completely curated to who you are, because underneath all of that, the art that you make is always going to be within your own lens, which again has only a select number of the different solutions from who you are as a person, where you grew up, what you love, how you live, what you believe in. So now you're thinking in perspective of needing to show people who you are and what type of niche or genre or vibe you are, but you're doing it just because you've already made the decision that by being you, by like remembering all these ingredients, you can create whatever you want. There are only a select number of things that are vibey and right for you. And as long as you know that you're following that, you can create anything. Fearlessly knowing that the multiple solutions to this one problem of your niche is just a collection of everything that you are, a finite collection. That's not unlimited. That's not a blank canvas. It's just the things that feel good to you. Let's get a little bit more practical now. Overarching problem a lot of artists have: should I quit or change my job? You're working as a bartender, or you have a full-time job in like data or insurance and you're not crazy about it and you want to be an artist. There's basically 3 factors to this: income, time, and energy. How much are you spending every single month? You need to make that plus a little bit more. That's income. Time. You want less time working and more time being creative. And energy. You want as much energy being creative and as little energy going to this job. Oh my gosh, I'm so hot. I need to take the sweater off. Oh, the breeze. You don't have to say, well, there's a million jobs I could be applying for and I'm just going to go shoot for all of them. You have a finite selection of what you need. And when you're in those interviews, when you're sending out those cover letters and resumes, you get to check those boxes for yourself. Is it more money than I'm spending? Is it less energy than before? And is it giving me potentially more time to work on my art? Have you nannied a lot, you babysit, and maybe you can work in childcare that doesn't take up as much energy, but is more of like a managerial thing, or maybe even like an ed tech company where you can work virtually. Maybe you have a data and engineering background and you can freelance a little bit on Upwork because that takes the least amount of energy for you. These are all different paths. They're on-brand, vibey paths for who you are as an artist. Knowing that there is only a finite number of things that will work for you will give you the freedom to know that you don't have analysis paralysis. That restriction is actually giving you some more freedom. And just like I mentioned, everyday problems, the things that you're dealing with in and out, even saying like, I want to do more art, but I feel like I don't have time. Okay, there are 3 different solutions to every single problem. Set a 30-minute time block on your calendar every day at 5 to 5:30 and do your art. Have an accountability buddy and ask them to co-work with you for 30 minutes on a Friday so you guys can both work on your art. Make it location based, where every time that you bring your laptop on your couch, then you work on your art. Versus when you have your laptop on your desk, you're working on work stuff. This is all going to be on brand, on vibe for who you are as a person. If you like accountability, that's great. If you like scheduling things in your calendar, that's great. If those 2 things terrify you and you wouldn't want to do that, you're going to have other options based on the select amount of things that work for you. this actually makes it so easy because when it comes to envisioning your dreams as an artist, like for me, I want to be on a cast like Girls. I absolutely love that show. More improvisational television or films, tour my music in awesome stages where people really like it and have an audience of people who sing along to it. It's freeing to me to know that there are only a select few things that I need to pick to get to that emerald city of that next creative goal, where going an engineering route is not going to serve me. So I'm just not going to worry about it. I know there's like a bubble of maybe 3-ish decisions that are going to be really, really strong for me to take that next step. And the same thing goes for you. Knowing that what's on brand and on vibe for you is actually going to propel you forward can help you realize that you're closer to your dreams than you think. You have more control over it. You have more freedom over not only those big picture dreams, but your everyday. You're not trapped anymore. You're not trapped by adults telling you, no, you can't be an actor unless you audition and make yourself struggle and stay up late nights and submit for things and be starving. There are multiple other ways, interesting ways that are based off of how you grew up and what you love and what you're passionate about and what makes you you. If you're so excited about that and are just ready to hit the ground running to get to that emerald city of your dreams, watch the next video on how to be more creative without burning out. Hopefully you got some fairy dust from this to help you on your next gentle step forward towards your creative dreams. If you love this, feel free to hit subscribe so I can see you more often. As always, stay inspired, stay creative, and I will see you next time, friend. Bye.